This poem carries a trigger warning for suicide. Do what you need to do. I get it. And so we basically write three kind of poems. We write queer poems, we write persona poems and various alien personas, and we write letters to people. So this poem is a letter. Dear Gabriel, I still want to know why you did it. Stop myself. There is no why. No one why. Elite high school teen depressed, found in Bronx Park, apparent suicide. It was in the police blotter. There was never an obituary. I tried to write one, and I couldn't. I sent letters to the school, barbs full of teenage coping snark about body bags and hanging weights when they wouldn't give you an honorary diploma because you hadn't been there for the last month of gym. Sent letters to the school paper full of abstract anger about its existential musings from strangers, full-page personal ads for Christ as your would-have-been Savior. Christ as your would-have-been Savior, heartfelt. I wish I'd known you. You sound like a great guy. We sang a song. Next week, they recycled you for the portrait of some newer, nicer tragedy. I wish I'd known you better. On my attempted suicide anniversary, I feel closer to you than we ever really were. I can't remember your face. I have had more time to think about your death than I had with you at this point, and I know I have to write you a letter, finally. A thank you note. You've been my only source of joy in all this grief. Dear Gabriel, at your memorial, I gave a stump speech and didn't cry. My heartfelt tribute. Not what I'll say to you now. Gabriel, you motherfucking bastard. I hate you. I mean, I love you. How could you? No. At the moment of your death, I emerged a profound and beautiful philosopher. It's natural to feel anger towards the dead, I said. It's natural to feel anger towards the dead, I said. I'm getting better at telling the story, not the one I wanted to tell about my friend, the budding herpetologist who had a fatal snake bite in the Amazon. Gabe, I called it cancer once. I'm sorry. I want you to know I teach with you sometimes. I think of you climbing over the exhibits at the zoo, smiling, constrictor draped around your neck, speaking some kind of parcel tongue, and I know you wouldn't mind. I can't tell them about me or about you, but I can tell them about us. This is what it's like to love someone who doesn't think he can be loved. We sat together and ate candy and talked reptiles. I asked you for 5 reasons to live every day, and you gave me more. I didn't know then, I didn't think there was anything our friendship couldn't fix. I can tell you now, I only really cared about reptiles after you were dead. I did know what I'd say for your eulogy. I'd sit up nights rehearsing it, but I couldn't bear to think about your pain now anymore. I still sit up nights rehearsing it because I've never told it to anyone before. Every time I feel an unnamed sadness, I fill it with you and call it grief. Every time a train goes by, I'm curious, and I think about how you were curious about everything. Sometimes one flash of green and I'm back in that park taking you down again. Every time I feel an unnamed sadness, I call it grief and think how often you survived it. I can't forgive you the one time you didn't. I still love you. I'm not even angry anymore. I think of you when I'm tagging snake skeletons. I try and wear your smile, like maybe one day you could wear the skin I've molted. The part of me I didn't share before, maybe the part that would have helped. I tell these stories only to myself now. I talk about you less and think about you more. I've given up trying to see you clearly. I think that's a task for the coroner. Just as long as it's you I'm seeing and my hurt feels right.